All right. So we are back with our March Beachmont newsletter, and I have two of our fifth grade teachers, or actually our fifth grade teachers with me today. So we have Miss Christine Anderson and Mr. Marty Catyb, who have been Beachmont Bees for quite some time, and they are, two of our veteran staff members, and I wanted to make sure that we spotlight them this March. So I want to welcome you both. I appreciate you both doing this.
Thank
The
you.
first question is just to tell us a little bit about your role here at the Beachmont, um, and what do you enjoy about the job?
My role here at Beachmont started in 1995 when I was hired by Mr. Frank Lillo, who was the supervising principal. And he was walking through Lincoln as I was doing my substitute work. And he saw I was doing the Civil War at the time. And he saw what I had done and came over to me and said, "Come see me." And he basically promised me a job here at Beachmont. This is where he worked. And my role when I came here, I think immediately we found out that Beachmont was not doing so well on MCAS, and Miss Anderson and myself looked at the scores and came up with a plan on our own that we will never finish that badly again. And we came, and basically over the time period that we've been working together, and with other people, obviously, not just fifth grade, but the whole school, we came from 7 from the bottom to being one of the best urban schools in the state, and eventually made it to level 1, and eventually went to Tampa when we were given awards down there. So our role was to make sure these kids were educated properly, that they didn't settle for mediocre, and have fun doing it. Which, by the way, I think you have brought into Chris into this situation where fun has been reinvented at Beachmont, and I think it shows in how the kids feel about their school.
Appreciate that, Miss Anderson. And
Okay.
I appreciate that history lesson right there. It's good.
All right. Yeah. I guess I think of us as the Beachmont historians. So this is my 26th year here at Beachmont. Like Mr. Catyb, I was a career change person. When I knew I wanted to get into teaching, it was my whole family's thing. I wanted to be a high school teacher, but Mr. Lillo offered me a 6th grade social studies position, and I have never looked back. I have taught, because Beachmont used to be a K-8. I have taught grades 4, 5, 6, and 7, but I keep coming back to the 5th grade. I really like the curriculum. I like our topics. And I like that the 5th grade is at the top of the elementary. So they get to do some special things that the other grades don't necessarily get to do. Mr. Catyb had introduced the chess club. We together have done Scrabble Club. We've continued the math league that Mr. Frullo started. And we have, I think, I'm just going to toot my own horn here, but I think that we together have created the best moving on ceremony for the 5th grade across the city. And like Mr. Catyb said, we really worked hard with the kids and the other teachers so that we would always be Beachmont best instead of the worst. That was really mind altering.
No,
Yeah.
no, and I mean, I can't thank you both enough. I think that you've done a really fantastic job in making sure that the 5th grade experience is special, and I think that that's something that I take a lot of pride in. I think that our 5th graders walk out of here, with a special experience and some leadership opportunities and opportunities to just grow, not only in terms of academics, but just, social, emotional, and socializing after school in ways that, like, I wish I could play chess. I wish I could play chess a little bit better. And I think that we have, our fifth graders do a fantastic job. When by the time they get out of here, it's like all of these games and life lessons that they really internalize. I think that that's part of this 5th grade experience. Which brings me to question 2. I think that it's interesting to hear everybody's answers on this, but what makes the Beachmont School a special place? Because I think it is a very special place. I'm trying to figure out and pinpoint, like, why is it a special place?
Personally, since starting in 95, the students at Beachmont have changed in just about every conceivable manner, culturally, religiously, ethnically, whatever you want to call. The school is completely changed in the 28 years I've been here. But yet we look at each kid as an individual, and we think that each kid can improve no matter how much. Even if it's a little, it's okay. They keep working on it. They keep getting up after they fall down. So I think what makes Beachmont special, and the teachers that have worked here and who do work here, is that we look at every kid as a success story in some way, because they need to gain confidence. Because as I tell my fifth graders, it's not going to get easier. It's going to get a little tougher. And I said, you're going to miss Beachmont, because your life's going to change a lot.
Mhm.
But the success we've had is because we look at each person. We don't look at all the cultural changes. We try to identify generally the cultural changes, but we just think everybody can win. And for the most part, we've been pretty successful doing that.
Thank you.
So my thinking about these questions ahead of time.
No,
What
you
makes-
didn't get these questions ahead of time. Come
No.
on.
Right. What makes Beachmont special to me partly is because my father grew up in Beachmont. And so it's been kind of fun having the children or the grandchildren of people that grew up with my dad, families that lived in the same house. And I could talk about, you know, yes, if you go upstairs or whatever, the view. I like that it's a neighborhood. I really do. And I think that it's one of those things that because it's a neighborhood, people really take pride in Beachmont. I also think that what has made Beachmont especially special for me, I'd say in the last 15 years or so, was when Mrs. O'Connor came in and we became an elementary instead of just a K-8. And she was a teacher's principal and everything was for the kids. And she hired in new teachers that also had the same mindset that Mr. Catyb and I had, that to make Beachmont the best elementary school. And all of our colleagues worked tirelessly to do that. So I think that everybody takes pride in Beachmont, and that's, in my mind, what makes Beachmont such a special place.
Great. And the final one, we're still trying to pinpoint the definition of this one, but what does it mean to be a Beachmont B?
Well, I have a different viewpoint of that, because when I started, and Miss Anderson did, we didn't have a Beachmont B. We had I won't name the teacher, but we had like a contest to rename the Beachmont Bulldog, which I still have posted, by the way.
Mhm.
And we had a contest to see what we could change it to, which didn't make me happy. But at the time, I went with the flow, and we chose the Beachmont B. So as I'm thinking of a Beachmont B, as well as a Bulldog, it gives me the idea that you don't give up. If you watch bees or a nest of bees, they are continuously working. They're very industrious. They don't take no for an answer. They're out from the moment the sun comes up till it goes down. And that's how I believe we chose the Beachmont Bee, because we are a bunch of worker bees, and we don't give up. And the last thing I'd say to that is, as far as industriousness, that's important, but because working hard doesn't always get it done. I have like an old mantra that I think of, and I have even told Miss Anderson that, but I used to like to listen to read about ancient history. And I have Aristotle had these words. He basically said, you learn from yesterday, you live for today, and you hope for tomorrow. And I think his words thousands of years ago still ring true today. And that's what a Beachmont Bee does to be successful.
Thank you.
Now I wish that I had asked to go first, because Mr. Catyb's answers are so incredible.
I'm speaking to you too, Miss Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Catyb. Yes, we have been a team for a long time.
Yes.
I think the Beachmont Bee, the original little ditty that went with it, is "We're what the buzz is all about." And I think it was very appropriate for the transformation that Beachmont was going through at the time, that the faculty was working as a team together to make Beachmont the best elementary school, not just in Revere, but in the state, if we could do it. And And so, and the student who picked the little bee mascot was in my class. So I do feel a little bit partial to that. To me, being a Beachmont bee means that you can be the best you can be. When the students leave me at the end of 5th grade, I always say, always be your Beachmont best. Because you're going to take that with you. People are going to ask, oh, where'd you go to elementary school? And I want them to say it with pride that they went to Beachmont. And I love it when other teachers contact me throughout the school system. High school teacher will say, I've got so-and-so, and I'll say, oh, he's being his Beachmont best, or she's being her Beachmont best. So I think that pride in our school is what being a bee is all about.
Great. Well, I appreciate both of you. Appreciate the work that you do day in and day out. You know, you do.
We appreciate you too, Mr. Friesen.
Yeah, it's not about me. It's about you. It's about this time capsule here that we'll be able to look back on, you know, years from now. And that's part of this, right? As I was saying before we started recording, right? I think we can look back on, you know, new teachers that have been here 6, 7 years, staff members that have various roles in this building. And I think that every single one of us plays an integral role in the lives of our students day in and day out. And, you know, just like we always say, it's a great day to be a bee. We want to just keep that legacy going. So thank you both for your time. And, you know, we'll see everybody back for another interview at the end of April.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.